show because we have two people that know what to do and know how to do. Now, we're simulcasting this on my personal Facebook page as well as the voice of MSCS. So you can watch it on Facebook and, of course, listen to it on 88.5 FM. So this is the Huddle Talk. Let me explain what we do here real quick. For those of you who are watching my stuff, you already know who we have, and I know you're in shock when you see one of them sitting here live and in living color. We're going to get to all that, but check this out. This is what the show's about. We're about Memphis. You know how you have the huddle in football where they have to get folks situated to run a play? You have the huddle on the court. You know, the team's getting rocked and rolled, and then they call a timeout, and then the coach calls them over and diagrams the play. That's what we do here. So tonight's play is going to be voting and civic engagement. That's going to be tonight's play. So check it out. This show is about Memphis. We have people who have impacted Memphis, although our two guests have not only impacted Memphis, but they've impacted the country. You saw one recently, and the other one, well, I'm going to just give you a hint for those of you who are not watching on my Facebook page. You know, they put up a sign to him. They named the street after him and his partner, Orange Mound Down. And see, they put the sign up for his partner on one side of the corner and then put the sign up for him on the other side of the corner. So I just kind of told y'all who's here. But anyway, check this out. This is about Memphis because people talk about Memphis and talk about all the stuff that's not happening in Memphis and talk about what we need to be doing, et cetera, et cetera. But let me hip y'all to something. You know, some of y'all even talk about moving, but check this out. The cavalry ain't coming. Batman ain't coming. Batman and Robin are sitting home. They done gained a whole lot of weight, eating Bluebell ice cream in their robes that don't fit no more. They ain't coming. It's up to us. We got to make this thing work. Nobody's coming to save us. There ain't no heroes showing up. It's about the people. This is people power. We need to do this thing. So that's what we're about. Now, last thing I'm going to say before we get to our guests, because you really don't want to hear from me. Although some of y'all are saying, who's that crazy man on the air? Who is he? Who is he? Who is he? Well, real quick, we're not going to label on that, but go to my website, noelhutchinson.com, noelhutchinson.com, noelhutchinson.com. You got to know how to spell it, or else you won't find it. Check it out. NOELHUTCHINSON.com. I'm going to do that again. Somebody missed it. NOELHUTCHINSON.com. One more time for the Holy Ghost. NOELHUTCHINSON.com. All right? Got to do this. I'm also the pastor of Kingdom Fellowship Baptist Church in Fraser Bay. What's up? All right, just want to give a shout out to the church folk, but see, y'all don't understand. If I don't do that, I might not be able to go in there on Sunday morning. They'll be like, we a little salty. You didn't mention us. All right, I mentioned y'all. We gonna move on. All right, now, to our guests. Now, if you're watching on my feed, wait a minute. I thought I had turned this on. I didn't. Well, it's about to go on. If you're watching on my feed, to my left is Miss Darrah Hall. She's a Democratic strategist. She wears many hats. And she also has voter engagement as a part of what she does. Now, the man to our right really doesn't need an introduction. That's 8-Ball of 8-Ball and MJG. Y'all know him? A Memphis royalty, y'all. Historical figure in this city. You know, big baller and shot caller. And look, I'm going to make a personal request. I was watching that video on Just Like Candy today, and I saw that purple whip. If y'all can arrange for that to pull up in front of my house and stay.
Don't tell them where that purple car is now.
All right. First of all, Brother Eight Ball, congratulations on getting the street named after you. Thank you for all that you've done for the city. Just thank you in general. I don't think you and your partner get enough props, especially folk are talking about Glorilla and all the other folk out of here, Young Dolph, Yo Gotti, talking about.
Can't say nothing bad about Glow.
No. I ain't gonna say nothing bad, but my point is, y'all are like the bedrock
Oh, definitely.
from which all of this stuff has flowed.
We was one of the early bricks for sure.
That's it. So my only point is, y'all need to get more love, and I'm just trying to give you your flowers and just say thank you.
Thank you, man. It's appreciated.
All right. So now we have to your right and my left, Darrah Hall, who's here with us as well. And so we're glad to see you. All right. Now I'm going to start with you. You are here for a specific purpose, Brother Eight Ball. You want to talk to us about voting, if I understand. What does that mean to you?
I mean, it's like, I guess people my age and probably younger feel like it's the same old message. It's the same old message. It's got to be the same old message to keep it, you know what I mean, to get where we trying to get, because we ain't got there yet, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, my mom was a housekeeper, a maid, you know what I mean, for 50 years, you know, and that wasn't that long ago, you know, when
Yeah.
she worked this job, you know what I mean, and they didn't have the rights that we have, you know, and that's, even though people have said it before me, I got to keep saying it, you know, so, you know, we got to keep saying it, even though it's been said before, you know, and I mean, that's my whole thing, is just people have died, man, you know, for us to have this right to do this, and the only way we can change, we can't change the past, but we can change the future. And
Exactly.
the only way we can change the future is to get our people that that have the right intentions in the right places.
Exactly.
And the only way we're gonna do that is to vote. You know, other cultures, I'll say that, they have done it for years, and now it's people in these high places that can't be removed, but have, you know, done all of these things for their culture and their people. You know what I mean? And the only way, you know, this is my mind. The only way we can get to what our people truly need is to put our people in these positions of power. And the only way we could do that is to vote. You know, that's not the only way, but it's one of the
One
biggest
of the
ways.
ways. Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, definitely.
And see, when you bring this stuff up, I remember Elaine Turner, you probably met her, that does the heritage tours, right? So at one point, her family was the most arrested family in America for civil rights. And she was here, and we talked about the fact that people don't really discuss this, but back in Jim Crow, you talking about your mama and her era. Back in Jim Crow days, if you got arrested, they put your address in the paper. What that did is everybody in the house got affected.
Yeah.
So let's say you went 8 Ball and started protesting. Your mama would lose her job behind them putting your address in the paper. You know, everybody in the house get affected.
So they scanned.
So
you away
it
from
was
it.
the ultimate
suppression.
scare tactic and pressure. And then they use that also in terms of a tactic to keep us from voting.
Yeah.
So I appreciate you saying what you said. I thank you for that. Sister Hall, now talk to us about some of the stuff that you do.
Okay, so I have spent the past 10 years of my career working in politics in some type of way, whether it's working on a campaign, helping to get good people elected, or going to D.C., where I got a chance to start my career with the United States Congress, with the Senate Finance Committee, and learn federal legislation and policy making firsthand. And I came back to Memphis, and I served in Mayor Strickland's administration, so I've got city government experience. And all of that combined inspired me to start my own voter education initiative called Civics Made Simple. Here in Shelby County, we have 2 different bodies of government, and that can be confusing when you go to vote. Every time you vote, you don't know, what does the clerk do? What city council district do I live in? And I came to that conclusion when I moved back to Memphis. I didn't even know. And I had been working in politics all my life, and people looked to me and would expect that I know that, but I didn't. So that inspired me to start my own voter education initiative so that I can empower myself and others. So that's a bit of what I do. I love to help inspire people to recognize their power in our vote. Like A-Ball said, this is how we truly get change done. It is in our vote. A lot of people love to, there's a room for protesting, which we need. There's a room for holding elected officials accountable. But if you're not even voting, then, that's the first major step into seeing the change that we need. So, yeah.
None of that works. None of that works if you don't have people in place that's going to help you, like the marching and all that. You know what I mean? The protesting, which I get it. But I'm just adding to what you said.
Yeah, absolutely.
The vote is super important.
It is, because there's no comprehensive civic education nowadays. So that's another part of voter suppression too. People feel so far removed, and then when they go to vote, especially in our county government elections, y'all, that's be so long. It's so many positions to vote for. Judges, county commissioners, the mayor, and it's just a lot. And so it's a very exciting time because we have the presidential election. There's more voter turnout in that way, but voter education should be year-round, and that's what I support.
Want to put a pin right there and piggyback over what both of y'all said. When you talk about the Voting Rights Act, right?
Mm-hmm.
The protest helped to push the Voter Rights Act over the top.
Right.
You needed both of them. So
yes.
8-Ball made a good point.
Mm-hmm.
You can't just have the protest, but you need the legislative piece.
Right.
But it was so hard to get that through that once you had John Lewis do what he did on the Edmund Pettus Bridge, then you were able to get the votes in order to make it become law. So a lot of this stuff, even what happened, unfortunately, with George Floyd, we didn't get the bill passed, but at least the beginnings of getting that whole process rolling. And saying that black lives are not cheap, but that black lives matter.
Right.
And then some folk got it twisted, saying, "Oh, you talking against all lives?" But no, you got to address the situation at hand. Yeah. If somebody's bleeding in the head, you can't talk about, well, we need to consider Mary who's doing fine. No, you need to address the person that's bleeding.
Right.
And we were at the place of bleeding. So let me ask you this, and this is why I put a pin there for a minute. Talk to us about the civic engagement, because I know we talked off air and you made mention of it. You're getting ready to roll it out.
Yes.
Kind of speak to some things that people need to consider. You did it already, but open it up a little bit more in terms of what people need to consider in terms of voting and understanding the need to vote.
Well, first, people need to consider that every election matters. All elections matter, especially our local elections. And so that's why my voter education initiative is focused on the local civic landscape, because again, it's always momentum around the presidential elections. With that matters too. But have an understanding of what to expect with each election cycle, which offices are going to be elected, what exactly does this office do. Last year we had the mayoral race. We had 17 candidates in that mayor's race, and I spent time with Civics Made Simple hosting. I was going live on Facebook, Talk About It Tuesday, and I was explaining what's the difference between a single city council district and a super district, because most people don't know. When you go to vote, like, what does this even mean? So yes, that's part of it, is just the education. So I start on the local level, but right now in this presidential race here in Tennessee, we're voting for the president, we're voting for a Senate. And you talked about the George Floyd bill not being passed. It wasn't passed because of the Congress that we have. So our Senate election matters. So be sure not to leave anything blank. Depending on which district you live in, you may have a state senator or a state representative on your on your ballot. We need to vote for that. So part of my civic engagement and education initiative is just teaching people the basics and also giving them the resources like the Shelby County Election Commission website. That should be your best friend. That should be on your regular tab.
ShelbyVote.org.
Yes.
Right?
Mm-hmm. And then also, I have another website that I'll leave with people too.
That
so
gives
that
you information.
Mm-hmm. Yes, because if you go to the Shelby County election website, oh, actually, everyone, it's electionsshelbytn.gov. Here you can find a sample ballot of what's on the upcoming election. You can find voter data on past elections. You can find out what polling location you're at. You can find out which district you live in. They have a unique map you can use and put your address in. And also, it's really important to know your status, your voter registration status. So, and that's easy to check. The website tnmap.tn.gov. But you can always just Google this stuff first. But
Go back to the other one,
electionsshelby.gov. That shelbytn.gov. That is our local Shelby County Election Commission.
Repeat that one more time.
Electionsshelbytn.gov. So electionsshelbytn.gov. And here you get so much information. Again, finding out, you can register to vote online. You can find out which polling location, find out which district you live in, and it'll tell you all the way down to your school board so that you know. So again, it's empowering people with the resources because there's no education.
Now, unfortunately, if you want to vote in this election, it's too late.
No, well, you have
that.
to be registered a month before the election date to vote,
that's
which
what I
that's
meant.
another form of voter suppression, in my opinion.
Late to register.
Yes,
Yeah.
well, it's not too late to check your status though. So make sure
That's right.
everybody's checking their voter registration status because a lot of us have been registered and we don't even know. And so a part of what I was doing when I first launched Civics Made Simple. Now I'm from South Memphis. I'm from Riverside, so I set up a table outside of I Save a Lot now. It used to be a Kroger there. And this was during 2020, the last presidential election. South 3rd. And we had so many people come up. They just wanted to check their status. They were like, I don't know if I'm registered to vote, or I haven't voted in a while. There's no judgment. I have the laptop here. I can look you up and tell you if you're registered to vote. And most times they were. So anyone listening, if you have not already registered, you have to have registered by October 7th to vote in this election, but please just check, so
That's
just
right.
somebody out here telling people that's what's important. So that's part of what I do with the civic engagement. That's a big piece of it.
And y'all, if you haven't figured it out, and we made it plain, but this show is about encouraging you to vote.
Yes.
Definitely.
And you've gotten some additional information. You go to elections.shelbytn.gov. It'll give you all the information that you need to know. If you're not registered, understand my language. If you're not registered by now, you cannot vote in this presidential election. But that does not mean that you don't register at all. Go ahead and register if you're not registered. Prepare yourself for the next election. Get information. And then if you're like me, go ahead and check and make sure that your registration is still good. And make sure you know where you're supposed to vote.
Right.
But now check this out, y'all. This is an open secret. Early voting has started.
Yep. Today.
Started today. Check it out. When you vote early, you don't have to worry about where you vote. You can vote at any polling place that's open in Shelby County.
Yep.
You can go ahead and vote. Like, for example, I plan to vote tomorrow.
Me too.
Go ahead and get out the way.
I'm voting October the 30th at Glenview Park. We're going to have a little thing, people to come out. Last couple of days of early voting, and I'm going to be out there and I'm going to vote live.
That's awesome.
All right, check this out.
Woo, we got the
Repeat that.
exclusive.
Repeat that.
Now I'm really like getting ahead of myself because I'm not sure the date, but I think it's October the 30th. And the last couple of days of early voting, we want everybody to come out, and I'm going to vote live.
All right, well, check this out.
Yes.
Yeah.
We're going to confirm the
there.
date. We'll
Already.
keep our ears open and confirm the date.
Yeah.
So check this out. Glenview Center is right there, Orange Mountain, where Orange Mountain and South Memphis come together.
Definitely.
So now y'all know what to do. Come out there, go ahead, handle your business.
Yes.
And in the meantime, go to elections.shelbytn.gov. That's G-O-V. And make sure that you know everything about your situation.
Yes, and there you can find a sample ballot too, so you can see what's going to be on our ballot and what you will be voting for. Because there are referendums on the ballot too, everyone. And a referendum is just a question is to gauge feedback from citizens. So on our local referendum for any Shelby County voters, there are 3 questions about gun safety. And so be sure to take a look too, so you know what to expect.
Okay, that's good. That's good information. All right, any closing words that y'all have for us?
Yes, your vote is truly your voice. I have been working in politics for 10 years. Yes, sometimes it can seem like some BS, but you want to know why? It's because people are not voting, they're not paying attention. Elections are truly won by votes, y'all. So your vote can make or break getting that candidate that you want that's going to represent your best values. So please, please, please vote. Don't take away your power. They work too hard to keep you suppressed, and I mean that. Take it from the girl from South Memphis. I'm telling you, go vote. This is really your voice.
All right.
Everything she said, of course, you know, and just, man, I think voter education, you know what I mean?
Yes.
Like, I think they need to, it need to be mandatory in, like, school to where they teach all of that stuff, you know what I mean? This cat named Yellow Pain had a song with all the, go look up Yellow Pain. This boy got a song, man, and is it Yellow Paint? I'm gonna look that up, but
But I think I know what song you're talking about.
I know what you're talking
But I don't
about
remember
because
his
I've
name.
seen it.
yeah, but he explains like the government, you know, all the levels and everything, and I think we need to teach that a little more. Maybe the history teachers or the social study teachers need to add that to the curriculum. You know what I'm saying? And especially watch how she said Memphis stuff is different. You know what I mean? Like we have 2 different mayors and like, you know what I mean? These different things.
Yeah.
And I think kids need to be educated on, you know, what this stuff is before they get to going and doing this stuff, you know, and all your parents. That's another thing. 4 years ago, I think my son was like 11 or something. And he went to the thing with me, you know, watch me do it, you know what I'm saying? And I think it's a good idea to take your young kids and let them see it. So at least the picture will be in their head and they done seen it before and it's not strange to them, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
You know, so.
Perfect advice. And just to piggyback on what you said, we used to teach it in school. Saturday morning, I'm dating myself now. Saturday morning, you know, we talked about what is a bill. They had those cartoons. You can probably still pull them up on YouTube.
Yeah,
Where they
make fun of them on Family Guy and stuff.
That's it. That's it. I am a bill on Capitol Hill. You know, they had all of that stuff. But now, Darrah, we're going to invite you post-election to come back.
Yes, and I'll be back.
Definitely.
And we want to invite you to talk about some of these explanations that we need to have.
Yes.
And some of this voter education. So be clear. And A-Ball, you already know you got a carte blanche invitation.
Oh, hey, man.
You just come
I
back
wanna come
when
when
you
she
get
come
ready.
back.
Okay, let's
See?
come back. We gonna do this, y'all. Y'all heard A-Ball.
Yeah,
So
I
we
want to come when she come back.
Yeah.
Now, wait a minute. I found out. Now, this is Memphis, y'all. I found out they went to the same high school, right?
Yes.
See, so you just
Middle
don't know.
college,
Huh?
high school.
Middle college, and it's the #1 high school in Memphis right now. I heard that they got like some of the top scores and stuff. So come on, brilliance right here.
Oh,
Come on.
Lord. You hear him now.
Definitely.
You hear him. All right. Well, ain't nothing like repping your high school.
Yes.
First of all, glad that y'all are here.
Thank you for having
Thank you for
us.
having
And thank you for what
being-
you do, okay?
Definitely.
We're going to give you your flowers right now, all right? We really appreciate you. You're making a huge impact.
Definitely.
Oh, man, those gardenias making me smell better.
I
But
know.
anyway,
I I appreciate you having me, man. Definitely, both of us, man.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yes.
All right, now we're getting ready to wrap up. Check this out. There is a cleanup across the city. I just don't have the written information in front of me that's attached to the faith-based initiative from the mayor. We want to encourage you to get involved in that. So, excuse me. If your church is doing that on Saturday, get involved. It's happening all over this city. There's also another initiative. G.A. Hardaway sent it to me, and I will post it. That's also happening. I believe it's on the 24th. Can't remember, but I wasn't able to put that in front of me to read it on the air. But we will make that publicized as well. Be clear, a lot of stuff is happening around this vote, and you need to go handle your business. You don't need to let somebody else handle your business for you. You need to handle your business. You need to be about your business. And so I want to encourage you to go ahead and vote. Early voting's here. You have no excuse. You have about 2 weeks to go vote.
Anywhere.
That's right. Anywhere. 2 weeks. How much time you need? Oh, I can't go vote today. All right, there's tomorrow. Oh, I can't go vote tomorrow. Well, maybe, look, you got 2 weeks. So you ought to be able to segment time to go vote. And check this out. If you early vote, by and large, there probably won't be a line.
Yep.
So you can go right in, handle your business. It's taking me as short as 3 minutes to go and vote by early voting.
Just make sure you have all you need is your ID.
I'm gonna tell you this though, the people that are voting for the man are heavy early voters. So the people that need to be voting for the woman need to get on out there. You hear me? I ain't gonna call no names, but y'all,
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
you heard what he said.
That's right.
We gonna leave it there, but I think you got the message. All right, time to wrap up. Thank you for listening. I want to thank Darrah Hall and 8 Ball for being here with me tonight. And so now it's time for us to run this play. You already know what the play is, right? The play is voter engagement and handling our business. All right, are you ready to run the play? Are you ready? Wake that brother up in the back. Matter of fact, tap him in the back of his head. Tell him to stop snoring and wake up. We getting ready to run the play. All right, y'all ready? All right, 1, 2, 3, break. We will see you next week.